Hi, I'm Alicia with DIYStyle, and today we're going to show you an easy tote. This tote is going to be based on our most popular project, the fold-over clutch. This project is going to be based off of kind of the same pattern with a few modifications and with these new handles from our friends at Clover. For this project, you will need a half a yard of your outer fabric, a half a yard of your lining, and a half a yard of this fleece for the inside to give it some body, and your designer purse handles from Clover. You will need your Dual Duty XP matching thread and your Sulky KK2000 spray adhesive. Now we have to cut our fabrics to size. You will need a 15 by 29 piece of your outer and your fleece. You will need a 15 by 27 inch piece of your lining and an 8 by 10 piece for your tabs, which will make 2. We have already attached our fleece to our outer fabric with our Sulky KK2000 temporary adhesive spray. Our temporary adhesive spray is just there to keep things together until everything gets sewn. I have both of my long pieces pinned together, right sides together, for both the lining and the outer, and I'm just going to go ahead and sew the sides. Make sure that you have a 5/8 inch seam. Make sure at the beginning and end you backstitch just a little bit and then sew all the way back through. I've already got my sides sewn together, but for this tote, since it's a little bit different, we're going to leave just a small opening right here, big enough to pull it through at the end. What we're doing is boxing the corners just like at the bottom of this clutch. I already have my corners pinned, so what you'll do is fold over and measure 3/4 of an inch from the top of your triangle. Make a mark and then sew across. So now we're going to sew our boxed corners. Make sure that you backstitch first. We're sewing right across that yellow line that we marked, and then sew through. Make sure you remove your pins so you don't sew over them, and make sure that you backstitch at the end. I've placed the lining on the inside and pinned all the way around the top. Right sides of your fabric are together. And what you're going to do is just sew right around the top. Forget about your 5/8 inch seam. Start off with a backstitch, sew all the way through, removing your pins as you sew. I have my lining sewed to the outside. The next step is going to be to reach inside and pull your lining out. And this is where we're going to use that little section that we left open. Basically, we're going to turn it right side out. Just like that. Make sure you pull your corners out here. You've got one big long piece, and what you will do is you'll take your lining and basically push it back inside the bag, right like that. Now we're going to be working on our tabs for our handles, as you see right here. What you'll do is you'll take your 8 by 10 strip and fold it in half long ways, right sides together. I've already pinned it. And you will sew it at 1/2 inch seam. Your backstitch at the end. Now you'll just turn what you did right side out, just like that, and you'll press it. I've already pressed my tab with the seam in the center. And now all I'm going to do is cut it in half to make my 2 tabs. So I have already pressed my bag, the lining is on the inside, holes closed up, and now we are going to attach the handle tabs to the bag. I found the center point of the bag and marked it with a pin here. And I'll take one of my tabs with the center seam. It should match up just perfectly with the center pin here. Measure a 1/2 inch from the top of your bag, and that's where you place the raw edge of your tab. And once you've found your spot, just pin it. Now that we have our tab pinned, you're going to sew 1 inch from the top of the bag. And you might want to take your free arm off just so I have a little bit more room. And so right on that 1 inch line, you want to definitely make sure that you backstitch here because it's going to get a lot of wear. And backstitch at the end. Your next step is going to be to finish up your tab. You want to grab your handle, make sure that it's attached. Put it right over the handle like that. And you're going to take the other end of your tab and match it up with your stitching on the inside. Right like that. And then just take a few pins and pin it in place. And then you'll just hand stitch this edge right here and do the same thing on the other side. All right, and here's our finished tote. We've got our tabs hand stitched on, our handles are attached. It's super simple, really cute. You can make a ton of them in a short amount of time. And, make sure that you check back for the next episode and I'll show you a really cute embellishment for this tote. For more projects like this, visit DIYStyle.net.